Welcome back to Void Art Studios, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Leedle Dynamics Nailclipper. The Nailclipper is a 3D printed blaster designed by Bruce Leedle Lee, also known as Leedle Dynamics. It is an 8-round bullpup revolver stringer that shoots off darts at a, well, admittedly low power, but it's pretty cool. Let's get into the overview. Up at the front is the muzzle. It's not really anything special, but I've noticed you can, if you wrap a couple layers of masking tape around dart zone friction muzzle attachments, they will actually fit in, and you can have like muzzle brakes and suppressors and whatnot. Up here are the two front tactical rails for if you want to put like a light on the bottom or an optic on the top. There's also a tactical rail on the priming handle back here. Up here is the trigger. This is a string-powered blaster, so it's powered by this shock cord. This shock cord is also the only piece of hardware on the entire blaster. So yeah, this blaster is really cheap to make, and it's really cheap to buy if you don't have a functioning printer and want to buy it fully built. This one usually goes for about $30 to $40 on Etsy. So yeah, I got this from the shop Foam Blasters, spelled P-H-O-E-M Blasters, and I will leave a link to their Etsy shop in the description below. Up back here is the priming handle. To prime it, you pull back, and then you push forward, and it will prime the band and chamber a dart, and then you pull the trigger to fire. And it's pretty snappy, but it's also very quiet, thus the nature of it being a stringer. That is kind of the niche that stringers fill. They're not as powerful as springers or flywheelers, but they're quiet. Very quiet. Yeah, of course back here is the cylinder. To reload, you actually drop and swap the cylinders. You pull back on the priming handle, push forward on this pin, and the cylinder will drop out. And then you just take a fresh cylinder and pop it in there. There is also little cylinder carry caddies you can get that have the cylinders in them. I got a couple of those, and yeah, you just push the thing back, and you chambered another dart. The Nailclipper also has a stock. You pull out this little pin here, slide it onto the Picatinny rail on the back, and then push the pin back in, and it now has a stock. Now, in all fairness, the stock is way too short to do anything, but I mean, it's cool, and I mean, it would probably be a little more scale accurate on like a little kid, but I mean, it could work as a brace if the prime were heavy at all. Like, honestly, it's a little more of a detriment than it is anything else. It does provide a nice little divot here for the back little brick of the priming handle to go, and it has a nice "keep clear" written in the inside of that. But yeah, I usually just keep the stock off. I bought it for the novelty, but yeah, it's nothing really special. If I could get somebody to make me a scaled up version of this stock, I would use it. Like scaled up to actually have like a good length of pull and get my eyes lined up with the sights. But yeah, it does have iron sights. There's a little nub here and a little notch here that line up pretty well with each other. Yeah. It's pretty fun. It does not have slam fire, of course, because yeah, it just kind of doesn't go, and now I have to But yeah, it's a pretty neat blaster. Again, it's cheap to make. It has no hardware except for the shot cord you can buy for $5 on Amazon. It's like $5 per 10 feet. It's 1/8 of an inch shot cord. You can also have like multiple bands if you want more power, but these are not meant to be high-powered blasters at all. These are not meant to compete with something like the Dart Zone Outlaw or like any other high-powered sidearms like the Elk or, you know, the Zinc or the Foxbat. This is meant to be a low-power, not necessarily plinker, because it can be used in, you know, indoor venues, but it is just that. It is, it's its own niche. It's a low-power half-dart blaster, which I find amusing, honestly. Overall, it's a pretty fun little thing, and that's really all I have to say objectively about it. I'm starting to get into subjective stuff. Let's go outside and fire it. We are out on the range with the Nailclipper, and I got 3 cylinders loaded up. The first one, I've got some nitro shot darts, which honestly I really need to get worker darts, because they're kind of the hobby standard for stuff like high-end blasters and printed blasters, but yeah, it's whatever. I'll get some eventually. Next up, X-Shot Pro half-length darts. That. And finally, Nerf Pro half-length darts. That'll about do it. Alright. Well, that's it for my range demo of the Nailclipper. And let's take it outside, or take it inside, and talk about my final thoughts. Alright, we are back inside with the Nailclipper. Let's talk about it. To calculate the average FPS of the Nailclipper, and, you know, because you guys like your numbers, I put it up over my chronograph, or through my chronograph, and I achieved an average velocity of 74 FPS. From the shots that didn't completely tweak it out, because my chronograph does not like stringers for some reason. I don't know. Anyways, I achieved an average velocity of 74 FPS, which is, well, it's a little over the par for Nerf Elite. That means it's means it's only shooting a little harder than this thing. This is the Nerf Elite Crossbolt. This is shooting a little harder than this. Not by much, by about 10, 15 FPS, because this thing averages about 60 to 65. But anyways, yeah, not very powerful. But you don't need power when you have stealth. And also, well, there are ways to adjust the power on something like this. You can tighten the cord a little more. You could add multiple cords, which I don't know what multiple cords actually does to your power. I'm gonna try that out sometime. But I completely misplaced the shot cord I got with this, that I got to restring this guy after the original cord for it broke. But yeah, it is definitely a neat little blaster, and it's a fun plinker. Like, it's fun to plink, it's fun to mess around with, and yeah, I really enjoy it. I think it's worth a good buy, or, you know, to print and build if you are so fortunate enough to have a functional 3D printer, as well as time to print and build this thing, as well as the extra $5 to go buy the shot cord from Amazon. Because yeah, it's really that cheap. It is not expensive materials whatsoever. And it does have accessories. You know, it has the absolutely pathetic stock. I'm sorry, but the stock is just meh. It's mid. And it has this, which is, you can get all these little flakies off of it. This is an extra cylinder holder for it, and of course, extra cylinders. These are definitely worth it, because they have a nice little belt clip, which will clip over belt. It'll clip over the hem of my pants. It'll clip into Molly webbing. So yeah, it's pretty good. And I mean, this is just one of many. Leedle has a lot of blasters. The next ones I'm planning on getting are either the Barnacle, the Corsair, or the Gisela. And I will definitely review those if and when I get them. So yeah, that will be truly fun, because these are nice fun blasters. They're really not meant to be overly competitive, and I mean, you can run them competitively in low cap games, like 100 cap or 150 cap they can perform in, because you're going to be in mostly close quarters anyways, especially if you're indoors. But yeah, it is definitely a very fun little blaster, and I'm really excited to get another Leedle Dynamics blaster. Yeah, I will have an Etsy link to the shop I got this blaster from in the description, and I will also have a link to Leedle's printables page. So if you do have the printer, you can get the files from there. Yeah. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, then please do leave a like and subscribe, and comment your favorite Leedle Dynamics blaster. Mine is obviously, well, it'll probably be the Gisela once I get it, because it is weird, but it's also very, very cool. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye!